Crazy week, guys. It's been huge since launch. We've had great feedback from our launch process so far. People are asking us lots of questions about how it went down. People reporting back on it, DMs, in the chats. It's been great. We've had even other projects looking to maybe use it as their launch process because they think it's gone down as one of the best fair launches of all time. So the good news is we've effectively done some analysis on the data. So what we've done, we've gone in and we've understood exactly this candle here, which was the opening candle. It was where we had the fees set at 99%, 80%, 60%. And what we found is people bought up this candle. And funny enough, where you entered, yes, there were some advantages for people that entered maybe a little bit earlier and took that bigger hit on the fee. But a lot of the time, it sort of averaged out people's entries. And what it meant was people didn't get this huge bag of tokens on the low liquidity that they had at the top with a 10x that they then wanted to, take half the profit, take all the profit and dump back down. So it gave this really, really good entry. And anyone that sort of came in on this launch process is quite happy because they got in at a great entry point. And so far, it's sitting really well a week further into it. We've sort of built a bit of a bottom down here, and then we're tracking along well. And I want to use this later to show you some things. We've got about 469,000 scale sitting in this pool. And at current, if we had every scale that was output so far, we'd be up at around about the 1.3 mark. Okay, so you need to think almost half the scale is just in this pool. I know it's a bit of a rough number, it's a bit under that, but there is scale in other pools in these other pools that are created that have scale as the pair. So the second part of our launch, which is important, right? Because this is basically what we expected. So we expected that first bit to be that fair launch. We were going to generate a ton of fees, which we have. We've got about $62,000 worth of fees on that pool. But this is the second phase because it was about generating so many fees that pool gets so many votes this week, all right? So from memory, I think it had less than 10% of the votes this week, and that pool itself is generating about let's just bring it up here quickly. It's generating about a 226% APR. So that's for $300,000 worth of liquidity roughly, and almost half the tokens that are in existence are sitting in that pool. But what we're about to do, we're about to see the competition heat up. We're going to see so many votes go to the scale pool that we're going to see the APR go ballistic. And what that's going to do is it's going to draw people into that pool because people are going to want to earn, right? We're going to, but they're going to have to buy the scale. They're going to either have to have farmed it and have it sitting in their wallet now, or they're going to have to buy it. So we're going to get this crazy pressure that sucks the liquid scale out of the market and then draws in more liquidity. Because our system was about creating a sustainable and open entry point on a fair launch and then sucking in liquidity and going from a down to up method rather than, where they start the token well overvalued and then you see nothing but it just continues to roll on down. Well, our system's set from the bottom up. We set it at a crazy low price so that people were, intrigued, they were interested, they got in, they got a great entry point, they created the fees that are now sitting there to generate the interest and the liquidity stimulation on this pool. Then we're going to see trading activity on this pool next week as people want to get a piece of the action, so we'll further stimulate that pool again, but it's going to stimulate all the pools, right? Because the token price of scale is what stimulates and sends the APR to our liquidity, right? And that's the important part of this launch is to really get excited and really generate some buzz and start to draw that liquidity in we've got another 2 aggregators to go on this week. We've got further integrations coming in, and what we're going to see is we're just going to start to see ourselves build that TVL up nicely as we are. Hopefully, we're looking at these rates that we're paying at the moment for TVL. I'd love people to just fill them because they're much higher than I'd like to see them at. We're seeing other people in the market at 3 times less these APRs. So we've got so much potential already to draw liquidity in. As we push it again to the next level, we draw even more liquidity in, and we get this really nice balancing effect. And people are going to be going, and we typically see this right on the flip of EPOCH, where people want a bit of the action. Like, there's a lot of fees on offer here, right? We've got a huge APR available, or rewards on offer for people to vote. So they're going to come in, they want to buy a scale, they want to lock it. We're going to start to see some nice activity there, I think. And we might even see some more bribe competition. I've got notifications from some other teams that are looking to bribe it a little bit more, to try and get more of the a little bit more of the piece of the action there. So it's going to be a very, very interesting epoch. We're very excited with how our fair launch went. We're excited to see the experiment play out and, fulfill a lot of the sort of marks and targets that we had in place for it. And that's the main thing, right? If we saw this experimental launch work and or play out and then nothing lined up with what we expected to happen, then we'd start to be a little bit worried. But exactly what we expected to happen, actually in some ways even better, because we're going to see so much demand for scale. And we're going to build that liquidity pool out so heavily to help us, because that's the core of our ecosystem, right? That's exactly what stimulates all the liquidity on our network, so that we have that, so that we provide a competitive place for people to come and park their liquidity to service people, so that they can do swaps, so we can get fees, and also so that we can accumulate or generate bribes for you, because people want a piece of the action to stimulate their liquidity and keep that inefficient liquidity housed somewhere on base. So look, at the end of the day, we're going to go through some more videos for you in the next few weeks. We really want to get you involved in our community, so jump into the Discord if you're not already in there, because we've got lots of knowledgeable people that will show you through exactly how our system works. We're going to show you what you can do with your scale over the next few weeks. We're going to really explain the system out to you. So we're going to give you like a really, really good understanding of exactly how our ecosystem works, how we've built it, how it's different, and how we're going to continue to generate TVL or liquidity on the platform, so that we can continue to be competitive in that swap space and generate fees for you.